What is going on, everybody? Today we're going to be checking out Pre Vizsla Blue. Before we get into today's video, make sure to join my Patreon either as a free or as a paid member. I do a new deck list almost every day for paid members. Usually about once to twice a week I release a deck list for free members. But I'm up to almost 40 deck lists on here now. So make sure to join that. It's a great community that we've started here. And then make sure to please like and subscribe on my YouTube channel, as it helps the channel grow. And make sure to go on the community page and write down your favorite decks to play from the new set and enter the 3,000 subscriber giveaway. We are at like 2,900 subscribers, so we're getting really close. So please make sure to like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. This is a leader that when I first saw it, I was like, oh wow, this is going to be awesome, because I just assumed that the draw step would include 2 cards and that you'd always be able to do 2 damage for 1 resource. But I was wrong, of course. I didn't read it. I think I couldn't see the part that says this doesn't include cards drawn in the regroup phase or something like that when it first was released. Maybe that's what happened, because it clearly says it on the card. But either way, I think this leader is one of those leaders that has a lot of potential going forward as we get more and more cards. Like, for example, I Am Your Father is just absolutely amazing for Pre Vizsla, right? So for we're not going to do it at the 3 resource turn, we're going to do it the 4 resource turn, because we want to have 1 resource left over to use its action ability. So on the 4 resource turn, we can either do 7 damage to a unit, or they can say draw 3 cards, and then we can do 3 damage to a unit. So we get to, I mean, either one of those is great for us. So if there's more cards that are similar to that, like, I don't know, where you get to choose between drawing 2 cards or doing 5 damage for like a 2 resource card or something, right? Like another version of Force Choke, basically, where it basically gives Pre Vizsla the ability to be more relevant. I do wish that the action ability said draw a card, discard a card, like where it wasn't like you're getting a huge advantage, but you're at least having the ability to cycle plus do 1 damage to a unit. I think then the ability would have been just much more relevant. I still think that Pre Vizsla is a leader that I want to use with blue and the control color. So basically, you take the Bosk blue shell and you apply this leader. Now, obviously at this point in time, with the cards that we have, 3 sets in, Bosk is still the preferred leader for this shell. But I think that Pre Vizsla is one of those ones that if we get more cards that give us more options and make sense in here for 2, 3, and 4 cost, where it's like cheap enough to be relevant, where it still does enough damage when you draw the cards, or we get more units that draw cards, kind of thing, like Dr. Pershing or Ki-Adi-Mundi, which Ki-Adi-Mundi, it doesn't really make too much sense in here because we don't have enough units, because you're not going to activate the coordinate ability. Coordinate just feels like one of the weakest abilities that they've given so far to units. It's only makes sense in decks that go wide for the most part. So Ki-Adi-Mundi's ability is really only relevant in decks where you're playing like 35 units or more, right? In this deck we have like maybe 20 to 25 units. I don't feel like counting at the moment, but so this leader still has potential though, like using cards like Deathmark, redraw 2 cards. Dr. Pershing gives you that 1 card a turn, so that's like one of your ideal starts, is like one of those 2 cards, and then you combine that with I Am Your Father. So you can actually, if you have all 3 of those cards in play, you can actually do 6 damage to a unit under the right circumstances for 1 resource with its ability. So, I mean, that in itself is pretty sweet. It's very similar. It plays just about the same. I mean, we had to tweak things a little bit to put I Am Your Father in. So I think I cut like Force Choke, Open Fire, and 1 Palpatine, I think was how I did it, just to keep everything else the same, because this is Bosk Blue is my number 1 deck to play right now, so I have a lot of experience with that deck. So I didn't want to tweak things too much, and it's still, it plays very similar. But the other advantage, obviously, it still comes out as a 4/6, just like Bosk does on the 5 resource turn. So I mean, in that regard, they're very, very similar. Of course, if you have more cards in your hand on the flip turn, which is where cards like strategic analysis, like it's a 5 resource card. It's in the sideboard right now as a maybe card where you get to draw 3 cards. That'll definitely get you up to 6 cards, and I think that's relevant where you want to be a 6/6 on your 5 resource turns. So like certain matchups, I think that card makes sense to bring in, because then Pre Vizsla is immediately a 6/6. Obviously, if you have Dr. Pershing out early on, you're more likely to get to 6 cards and make Pre Vizsla a 6/6. And the fact that it's a 6/6 on your 5 resource turn, that's pretty impressive too. And I've seen, people do different takes of Pre Vizsla where they, more on the red version where they're just focused on being more aggressive, which I think is a cool way to play this. I just don't like double red villainy because it just loses to a lot of things. It doesn't have the best removal, and I mean aggression's great, of course, but it just has a hard time if other decks are more aggressive than it and recovering and being able to slow things down. But I do think the blue version is solid. Like I said, it's just like a lesser version of Bosk Blue at the moment, but it's one of those ones that you keep it in mind as we get more cards, because I do think that its leader ability could end up being really, really strong. And the leader itself already has a 4/6 with the potential to be a 6/6 on its flip turn is really good. So you could play cards like Mission Briefing, but the problem with that, of course, is you don't get to use Pre Vizsla's ability because it costs 1 resource. So you get to draw 2 cards, but then if you're doing that on the 3-resource turn, you can't use it to do damage. So sure, again, that makes more sense in the double red version, because then you're pumping up your hand to make sure that Pre Vizsla is a 6/6, and then you play things like Dark Saber or Fallen Lightsaber on top of Pre Vizsla to make it a 9/9 or a 10/9, which absolutely is relevant. You could play Dark Saber in here as just like a card for Pre Vizsla to use. I did test it out a little bit in this version just to see if it felt okay, just to put on Pre Vizsla on its flip turn. It felt fine. A lot of times it didn't feel like the card I needed, but there's definitely some games where it felt more relevant. And you could still put the Dark Saber on other things like a Chilson later on for 6 resources, so that's not bad either. But it's a card that just felt like not necessary. Just having more pieces of removal felt better. And of course, with these colors, the blue, red, black, I think we have access to the best color combination for removal in the game. With Bosk's blue, the same strategy that's going on there. Didn't really change much, like I said. So when you're getting into these games, you kind of see like that it plays just about the same. It's the tricky part is just when to use Pre Vizsla's ability. Like I said, if we had more cards like I Am Your Father, then I think Pre Vizsla would be a lot more relevant, because putting your opponent in positions where they have to make a decision and you still get to benefit either way, like that, if there was more, like maybe like 2 more cards that had similar effects where I either do damage or kill a thing or defeat a thing or get to draw cards, then it would be like, okay, we can really make this deck just really give Bosk Blue a run for its money, if we had more cards like that. So it's definitely a leader to pay attention to. But let me know what you guys think, and what versions of Pre Vizsla you've tested out so far. Like I said, the red one's pretty interesting, but again, I'm not a big fan of double red villainy. I've tried Vader double red villainy a decent amount. It just felt like it was missing good removal. Like Merciless Contest is not that great because you have to defeat your own unit. For a deck like that, at least, it's great in here because we don't have a lot of units. But yeah, I think those colors just still need a little more help as well to be more relevant. The games today, but let's get into some games and kind of show you how this deck works and how Pre Vizsla, the leader, can be effective. All right, up against Leia Red. So we have Force Choke, I'm Father. Looks like a good hand. Let Inferno and Palpatine go. Pass. See what they do here. I am just going to claim the initiative. I'm not going to waste a Force Choke on that. Just waiting on our opponent here. Okay. Laser Blast is a ways off. Trying to think if I even want that card. Not right now. That's 5 turns away. I mean, because they don't have ECL, I think it's smart to at least remove this and just get it out of here so it doesn't start to make things a lot stronger. Next turn we can I am your father, so it'll either do 7 damage, or if they make me draw 3 cards, then I can just do 3 damage to Battlefield Marine with Pre Vizsla's ability. So, which honestly is ideal, because then I get to draw 3 cards and kill the thing, so, or kill something. Merciless Contest is also a card here that just ensures that they die. Next turn we can do I'm Your Father or Force Choke. I guess we'll just do that, since it's a sure thing, so we don't, no reason to take damage if we don't have to. Could save the Power of the Dark Side for Leia next turn. Ideally, okay. Bright Hope is not a huge threat by any means. He does flip on 5. Trying to think what makes the most sense. Could put an Entrenched on it. Could also Force Choke something. Power of the Dark Side kind of loses its power here because of Bright Hope being in play. So if we I'm Your Father here, that gives us some options, yeah. So let's see what he does, because if we draw 3 cards, we can still do 3 damage to that, and then it also makes Pre Vizsla a 6/6. If he just chooses 7 damage, then it dies. Okay, that's fine. That's fine with me. Okay, well that's definitely a good Force Choke target. Take our 3 damage or discard a card, either one is fine. I don't think there's a point in bringing out Pre Vizsla here, because if he pulls out Leia, we're just going to use the Power of the Dark Side. I'm sorry, why is he reverting the game state? Okay, gotcha. He just needed to figure out what he was doing. That's a 3/6 or a 4/6. I mean, we can deploy, I guess. It's fine. Interesting. Do I just trade? Do we care? I don't think we care. I think that's what we want. Alright, Power of the Dark Side, Power of the Dark Side. I like having the takedown as a good removal in space for some of these bigger things potentially, or even on the ground. I'm not sure we need the second Vigilance right now. Right now we're just trying to find like Snoke and Avenger, Great Dragon. I mean, the mill strategy isn't bad. But I like having the diverse Get diversifying. Here we can just power the dark side something big. I mean, yes, might as well just get rid of that. Okay. Rivals fall, takedown. I think we can let a takedown go. If he plays a big unit, we play Rivals Fall. If he tries to go wide, then we can use both, which is what we're going to do. Just trying to get to our end game here. He claimed the initiative. That is fine. Alright, perilous position isn't bad. Yeah. I think we're just gonna keep the open fire though. I mean, I'm not doing anything here. New rounds. Just looking for our big spells here. I don't think we need Client at this point. I mean, Client does give us something on the board, at the very least. I think at this point too, we're just holding our hand until we find Avenger. We could totally play Client. If you play something really big, like Wrecker or Poe, we'll just play Power of the Dark Side. Okay. Wasn't expecting that. Okay, well that's definitely something big. Do we want to gain the life? I don't think so. And just not finding our endgame stuff here. An Entrenched on Klein is actually pretty strong, because it makes it a 5/8, which means it's can deal with things. And then we have the option to just tap it at any time to kill things. Did he claim the initiative? Okay. We can just kill and mill here, I think, is fine. Yeah, just start. I didn't even need to gain the 5 life there. I guess I could have. But we can still do that this turn. I mean, I guess we're doing the mill thing since we're not finding our big guys. We found them. We had 1 Palpatine, that's all we've seen though. Do I want to just kill that? I think so. It's fine. I think mill and defeat again. Just get him down to 13 cards. Top target on Benthic is fine. It's a good top target because it gives us an easy way to gain 6 life. We have not drawn any cards this game because we haven't seen very many of these things. There's Dr. Pershing. Again, I'm just going to sit at 8. I don't know why he's going to 12. Okay. I mean, Seems like a good opportunity to use Fell the Dragon. Okay, let's get Dr. Pershing out so we can start drawing cards. And try to dig for our game winners as we get our opponent to a place where we can... There's a Chilson, that's a card we can actually use. Take our... Okay, he gave that a little bit of bonus. We'll just do that. Draw a card. There, okay, Deathmark is cool. We're gonna play Chilson now. Get a 5/5 on board that we can start attacking with. And we're gonna pass. There's the Avenger. I don't necessarily think we need Deathmark anymore. I'm sorry, what is happening here? Okay, I think we can resource Deathmark. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's a good card. So we can use Chilson to kill, and then play Avenger from our hand. Let's draw a card first, do things in the right order, and close this game out. We're just passing at this point. Yeah, not to mention our opponent is about to mill out here in 3 turns, so yeah, good game. Alright, no mulligan, looks like a pretty strong hand. Chilson's gonna be pretty big. I like a Avenger and Merciless Contest just because it's a black card, and I'm gonna try to have as many blue cards in hand as possible. So we can play Chilson on turn 3. Okay. If he goes for the attack, we're just gonna play Merciless Contest. See what he does. Oh, I guess we have to resource something, don't we? Yeah, I'm actually not gonna. I don't want to sacrifice Pershing. I keep forgetting about that card. That's why Power of the Dark Side is just so much better. Just give him the option to choose. He's probably gonna attack in with Clone Deserter, I would imagine. No? Okay, so we get to draw a card, which is nice. And draw another card, which is nice. None of which are blue. Great Dragon is going to be a... interesting card. I think it's the least important of the cards in our hand, though, at this stage of the game. Okay. We're at 4 resources. He does have ECL, so let's go ahead and play this just to make sure we can protect Pershing and keep up our card advantage. Okay, he's creating a 2/2, which is fine. It's one of the annoying things about playing against Captain Rex with this deck. Okay, so we need to force choke the Echo. Another Chilson is pretty good too, though. So we can force choke plus play second Chilson, which seems like a really good turn. We could force choke the Echo-based Defender, I think, too. think that's fine. Force him to have to play another unit to make Echo more powerful. Sorry, we can't play the Chilson this turn, but we can play Perilous Position, which is still pretty good. Probably going to play it on Rex, though. Just action stall with Dr. Pershing first, or attack in with Chilson first, one of the two. Okay, so he's just doing command, which is fine. I think we're just gonna make him waste his turn. Okay, so I'll just attack into his leader. Okay, he claimed the initiative, that's fine. Okay, we have another Chilson here, which is awesome. Client. I don't think we need 2 Palpatines. Okay, ECL, Ayla Secura maybe? Yep. As expected. Do you want to just take down here? Take down the Secura, kill the Echo with our leader. That seems not bad. Or we could just play another Chilson and still kill some things. Alright, let's do the Chilson play. So we can just hold on to our cards. Could even put an entrenched on Chilson, which is pretty strong. Did he just claim the initiative? That's interesting. Boy. This is a 6/6. So we're just gonna put that there. So makes it a 7/6, that's fine. Kill Secura, draw a card. Pass. Okay. If Chilson lives here, we can play another entrenched on Chilson. Open fire is solid. I think I'm going to pass on the client for right now. He's already used ECL, so he'd have to have Timely plus Ayla Secure to take out our Chilson and be extremely effective. Okay, well that's a card. It is a card, but he is walking right into a laser blast with that. Depending on how many units he gets here is dependent upon how we respond. If he gets anything that pumps up his units like Commander or anything else, we might... It really just depends on what he gets. Okay, a bunch of ground units, okay. Interesting. So we can take down... Alright, let's take down the Echo. Okay. I'm gonna put entrenched on Chilson, I think. Or open fire or something. I think entrenched on Chilson's still pretty strong here. Okay. We're at 3 HP, so let's go kill that. Keep that alive, kill that. Draw and let Pershing go. Okay. Still 4 HP, we just drew another Chilson, which is nice. We also have Palpatine here to clean things up. and then go into Avenger. We also have a Laser Blast as a backup plan if things get crazy, like if they have another U-Wing or something. I kind of want to wait till they play another one of those, now that we know that they play that in the main board, before I use the Laser Blast. Yeah. So we'll try the Palpatine route first. I think top target, chill center, all those are useful in case things get crazy. Okay, a Marauder ambush. Okay, let's go Palpatine, take out the 2 ground units. And just kind of clear those out. Now we can't attack the base with our units on the ground, these 2, which is fine. Okay, we're going to claim the initiative so that we can deal with the Marauder. Snoke is really good too. Another Laser Blast. So I've played against this deck recently, and Laser Blast is going to come in huge, so I don't want to get rid of that. I think Open Fire is the card that's least effective. Instead of playing Snoke here, I do want to play Avenger because I want to be proactive at winning the game and putting them in a position where they know that a unit's going to die every turn. Plus we have Chilson here to protect things on the ground. So he's going to have to use Timely to take care of Chilson if he doesn't attack him with Clone Deserter, which is still going to be alive. Okay, there's the Timely. That's fine. So use Palpatine to finish things off. And then that puts them in a position where now any unit they play, Avenger is going to kill it. So I'm going to save the Pre Vizsla for something more powerful on the ground. Now we're proactively trying to win the game versus being on our back foot constantly. Okay, that's a pretty good card. I think this is a perfect time for a Snoke, as it wipes everything out. And then we can just do that. And I would say probably just that's fine. Be more proactive about winning, right? We can go ahead and just take out that, especially because it doesn't do any damage to Pre Vizsla. Okay, now I think we are in good shape. So this is a matchup that does take a little bit of practice. There's definitely some cards that they have that can kind of sneak in. They have Captain Rex's ability, which can really be a problem. So I think he's just conceding, it looks like. Oh no, he's not. He's gonna timely intervention something. Okay. Cool, I guess. Alrighty. Oh, good game. Alright, what we got here? Now we got a good solid hand. Always, whenever I play against Nala, I'm always like, are they playing? They're probably playing Vader, and like probably playing Avenger and stuff. So it makes me think that maybe I should hold on to my Avenger. Just because it's going to be relevant. Okay. Well, they are playing a little more aggressive too. That's the thing. That's definitely going to be important. Okay, they're going wide, so this is a different version. Okay, so this is a version where I need to get busy quick and protecting myself. Perilous position doesn't do enough here. when does he flip 4? Oh, that's definitely an interesting leader. We don't have anything to do next turn either. I think we're gonna have to take our chances. I hope that we draw into something useful. Yeah, maybe I should have kept the entrenched. Well, isn't that cute? Okay, well that's definitely better. We have stuff to do this turn now. I don't know, I'm thinking I'll have to let go of the Avenger. I hate to let go of 2 of them already, but what are you gonna do? We have other things that can help us close the game. Power of the Dark Side's really not doing a ton here. But I mean, yeah, we're not drawing ideal at the moment. Okay. So he took 2 from the client, okay? Force choke isn't bad, palp's not bad. So we can play Force Choke plus Power of the Dark Side here. Again, we're at a place where like Palp is too early. Like we're just trying to slow him down. 2 damage is doing what? So I think we should almost just... If we play Power, he's just going to get rid of the Soldier. So we kill Client. You use Client to kill Soldier. And then play Power. So that way... we at least get something worthy of using Power for. I can ECL and kill Client, which is whatever. Okay, take him 4. Force choke, Nala. Okay, take her 2. Get him to kill one of these 2. Probably kills. I mean, if he gets clone deserted, that's fine, so we can draw a card. Cool. Okay, we have Pre Vizsla now too, which he may not be thinking about. Okay, so we will deploy and kill the 4-powered unit, I guess. Okay, his ambush with that, sure. I'll take that all day. I'm just trying to slow him down. Killed 2 units. I mean, I'd say that's a win. Okay, there's that Avenger. Okay, we have Rival's Fall. I think we're letting go of I Am Your Father here. just because we're getting closer to Avenger and we don't want to resource the third copy. Taken 3, sure. Going to attack Ian, I think. Let's see what he does here. So we want to. This gives us the option to vigilance, either way. But also we could Rival's Fall something that's bigger, or just takedown if we want to just be conservative. It really just depends on what he does. Okay, he's ECLing, that's fine. So that's a good takedown target, or really a vigilance target, right? Yeah, get that off the board. Not worried about taking 3 damage. Plus, anytime we draw a card, we can ping this thing. If we run into that, well, there's a death mark. Guess we get rid of 1 takedown here. Feels... I like the idea of drawing some cards. I think that's a good thing. Attack it for 0. Get our opponent to do something. Okay. So we can play Death Mark, Takedown, draw 2 cards, and then we can kill the other guy. Pass. Judging on what our opponent's done, I think these removals are great. So let's just kind of see what he does here. So we can Force Choke plus Rival's Fall, or we can Open Fire plus Force Choke, which it looks like is what we're going to be doing. Okay. Nice. Merciless Contest is a good one. I kind of want to hold on to top target. I really want to hold on to all these, but I mean, we do have Avenger, so I think that's just our best play at this point. I noticed he hasn't been going above 7 resources, so that means he's playing lower to the ground. Now we have top target and vigilance to remove things. Okay, so we're going to power the dark side here so that we can save the Rival's Fall and save the Avenger. Okay, so we're just gonna vigilance, heal, defeat. Do we want to mill? Let's just heal first, and then we'll mill next time. Okay. Alright. No reason to resource again. Yeah, looks like he's staying at 7 resources. I'm gonna defeat Mill here. Oh my god, those are both amazing. Oh, we could have played top target, I guess. Whoops. What are you gonna do? I think we let one of the super laser blasts go at this point. So we could play top target plus Crate Dragon. Oh, okay. That's cool, I guess. Wait, doesn't want to do that? I think you should. That might be. I was say that might be the good game coming in, because now he has to have a Perilous Vision for Crate Dragon or some way to remove it, or else it's a good game. Because we are swinging in for 10 damage. Gotta love the dragon. We don't need a death mark anymore. Now we can play Pal plus I Am Your Father. Choose a card. Well, clearly Venger. Do 3 damage to his base and then swing in for game. Good game.